for Coach.
And what do you just see in the South Carolina defense?
I think that we had a little bit of a beat on some things, and then you look at last week against Vanderbilt, they really had a shift on defense in terms of playing a very different structure than what they had been playing. They had been a 4-down, cover 4, 3 deep, with mixed in with some man coverage. And then last week against Vanderbilt, they sort of shifted to almost a little bit of a Mississippi State vibe, where they had 3 high safeties, 3 down linemen, played a little bit more coverage, which I think caught Vanderbilt by surprise a little bit. I don't think they were quite ready for that, which I completely understand. And so that's something that we've had to prepare for. They fly around to the football. Their linebacker, number 0, is a really good player. The corner, number 6, is a good player. They've done a nice job rushing the passer at times. And, this is, again, it's more about us getting this thing right and getting an opportunity to go down and compete on a huge stage. I mean, it's going to be a great atmosphere and opportunity, but you could see the confidence in their defense last week shift in a game that they really shut out the opponent.
Have you had 3 different drives that get into Alabama territory that don't end in points?
Yep.
And if the field goal kicker isn't used a lot this year, so is there anything with those kind of opportunities, as you kind of worded, where you can try to take more advantage of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think we had a 4th down call that we all felt comfortable with, on the 4th down situation that, we ended up getting a stick route open, and we just a little bit late on the throw. And I'd love to have somebody wide open, but I'm not sure that's going to happen too often against Alabama, right? And so when you have those opportunities early on, we have to take advantage of them. And unfortunately, we just didn't, whether it was execution, making a play calling, whatever you want to put together, it was execution at the end of the day as a unit. And those were the circumstances that probably led to us it getting out of hand, right? In terms of those opportunities before the half in the second quarter, where we could have gone down and at least gotten points out of those drives. Well, then you come out in the second half and you drive down and have a good drive and go down, go 28-14. They go down, score, and now you're really playing catch up for the rest of the game. So definitely some missed opportunities for us as a unit that were disappointing.
How unusual is it, the situation you were describing with South Carolina making a change this late, and how does that kind of present a challenge for a play caller after you've put in so much time thinking?
Yeah, it's a little annoying. It is. It's just, and I'm sure that's part of the goal, right, is to obviously be better on their side of the ball and create some different mismatches and coverages and leverages and maybe get different guys on the field for them. But for us, obviously, now you don't truly know what to prepare for. I think we have an idea of, probably get a mix of a lot of those different things. But, it's just something we had to prepare for that we weren't looking forward to preparing for, I guess you could say. It's just something else that we have to be ready for, that our players have to be aware of, and us as a staff have to have a plan for. But I think you see a team trying to figure it out, right? They've competed their tails off. Maybe early on we're trying to do some things and figure it out, and then you go and make a change like that and tweak some things. I think it's a credit to coaching, really, and trying to put your players in a position to be successful.
Coach, they went out, they get a bowl game. You guys got a chance to finish 8-4. You're closing out the season on the road. What's the energy been like in practice?
It was great tonight. I thought we had a great night of practice. The guys were juiced up. I think they understand the circumstances of this game. I think they understand that this is going to be a hostile environment. I think that Columbia is going to be rocking. I think it's going to be a great atmosphere, and we need to go and get this one. And this one's a big one for us, and we're very understanding of the circumstances, I believe, right now. I think our players are pretty locked in. Again, we had a really nice night tonight and great weather, so I think the guys will be locked in and ready to go. Something about being on the road, it is nice to go out and we're all we got. There's no distractions, and it's something about that. It brings teams together.
This is part of the year too, where not only it's the coaching on the field, but the off the field stuff. As you get into the roster building phase, what areas of the offense are you really going to have to prioritize over the next month?
It's a good question. I think that we'll naturally have attrition, I would say, after the season. I'm not quite sure exactly what we'll be looking for to say right now. I know obviously you graduate some key pieces up front on the offensive line. You graduate a running back that's one of the best running backs in the SEC, and your quarterback leaves. So we have to evaluate all positions at the end of the day, and I'm sure we'll talk about those things as a staff, but we really have been so focused and locked in on trying to get a W, right? I mean, this is all we've really been looking at, of trying to go down to this environment and go get a win, because at the end of the day, it's really all that matters. Is winning cures a lot of things, right? And it helps keep kids in the building, and it also attracts guys when we do have to go to the transfer portal.
This team got a win here at Kroger Field last year. Is that something you remind the guys of at all?
I think they have a pretty good understanding of the taste that they may have in their mouth about what occurred last year at home. We went down there 2 years ago and had a great game. We ended up turning it over about 5 or 6 times and snuck out with a win, but our kids played hard. They played really hard when we went down there, and I think they're excited for this opportunity, knowing that South Carolina is going to be pretty, gassed up to go get a win, and understanding what they're playing for and what we're playing for is, being better in the SEC rankings, right? That's what we're playing for. We're playing for more wins and to go jump the rankings in the SEC. That's what we're really trying to focus on. So, and being 500 in the SEC is, not a slouch.
Can you speak to how Dane's improved his fundamentals over the season, especially during this tougher stretch?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. That's something that it's been really cool to see him. Really going back to Georgia. The week going into the Georgia week, he started to really become a different dude. And I don't think a different dude, that's not right to say, but more so just the focus, the concentration, the work ethic, the things that he was trying to detail. It's really paid off. It's paid off in a big way. He had another really good catch tonight when we did our good on good period against our defense. He's a great kid, obviously comes from pedigree. He's got a great family, and all those things add up. They add up to the type of kid that he is, the competitor that he is, and he's winning one-on-ones right now. I mean, he's doing a great job getting open, catching the football contestedly, contested catches. Been really proud of Dane.
Mark got a call on his show last night asking about the middle of the field and short stuff. Seems like Devin is apt to throw the deep sidelines and those kind of things. Is there something there with his size or vision? He's had some knocked down at times.
We had some issues in protection last week where there was a good amount of push at times. He could have done a better job of finding some windows there, even on the long pass to Bates that we completed. It ended up getting tipped. That's just a technique that he needs to do a better job of finding that window. And he has success throwing the ball down the field is what he's done in his past. And sometimes you go back to that as a quarterback where you're just like, hey, I know where I can get the ball out and see that thing. So he's done a great job in a lot of different ways for us. And we just need to get him back on track. We were starting to trend in the right direction. Those tip balls were something that we hadn't seen in a while. It was something that he is frustrated about because he made a conscious effort of that over the course of the last few weeks for that to not occur. He was taking pride in that to not occur. And, so he was a little bit frustrated that did occur this past week. And it was a combination of some pressure while also him being able to find some arm angles and different things to be able to make those throws.
You wouldn't be the first offense to be thrown off track by Alabama.
I think they're playing at a little bit of a different level right now than they might have been a couple weeks ago. That team is, that defense really is extremely well coached, very disciplined, detailed, and they play their tails off.
All right, folks, thank you very much.
Thank you.